The market and the virus both taking center stage in Washington again today. And Eamon Javers is live in the nation's capital. Good evening, Eamon.
Yeah, good evening, Tyler. No major policy response from the White House today designed to focus on the stock market or the economy. They say they're focusing on dealing with the spread of the coronavirus. Larry Kudlow, the president's economic advisor, said as of this morning, the White House still believes that the threat of the virus in the United States is low, despite what you heard from the World Health Organization globally in that earlier package. I asked Larry Kudlow earlier this morning if the president was going to take any major steps here. For example, there had been a rumor going around that he might suspend the tariffs on China during the course of this virus crisis. Larry Kudlow, though, said no. Here's how he put it.
We have no precipitous actions right now. Again, you know, it's sometimes a hard case to make in the middle of one of these crises, which is part psychology and part fact. But I just don't think anybody ought to panic right now. And we are going to stay the course on our policies.
So a stay the course message from Larry Kudlow today. I talked to the president this evening as he was leaving the White House outside on the South Lawn. I asked the president if he's spoken directly to the Fed about intervening here. The president didn't answer that directly, but he did say this.
I hope the Fed gets involved. You look at other countries, they're all stuffing the till. They're all going in there. They're putting in a lot of money. And our Fed sits there, doesn't do what they're supposed to be doing. But that's up to them. That's up to them. They're independent. But they've done this country a great disservice.
So, Tyler, the president there not saying he's talked to the Fed, but calling for the Fed to intervene here. He says they've done this country a great disservice and compares it to foreign central banks, saying they've done a better job overseas than the Fed is doing here in the States. I also asked the president about the stock market generally, whether he's talked to business leaders about the stock market sell-off that we've been seeing. The president, though, suggesting again today, late this afternoon, that he feels that a large part of this stock market sell-off is due to the Democratic debates and concern among traders that possibly a Democrat might win in November. The president putting this very much in political terms, putting that at the top of his list, not necessarily the virus as the main cause of the sell-off, Tyler.
The president may not have picked up the phone and called Jay Powell, but the president knows how to talk to the Fed without talking to the Fed, doesn't he?
Sure, absolutely. Just by standing there on the South Lawn and putting that information out there to the world, the Fed watches the television. They read the newspaper. They see that message from the president. The question is, you know, whether that jawboning of the Fed has any impact on them. And I don't think we really know the answer to that, Tyler. You know, how much of that do they see and feel that they need to respond to, or how much of that do they see and say, you know what, we're independent, we don't have to worry about what he's saying?